A couple of days ago, I posted a review of Rogan's latest special, Burn the Boats. I said, while I thought the material wasn't good, Rogan has skill at comedy. Many people commented that I was wrong, that I was being too charitable, that Rogan isn't funny, and I'm a fool for suggesting he is. Let me tell you why I said that, and why we, as comedy fans, should stop gatekeeping one another, even those of us who are bad faith grifters who don't even seem to care about comedy like Rogan. First, I want to say thank you to these fine people who support this channel, and thank you to all the new subscribers. You know, the channel is not really yet even a year old. We're still finding our audience, and we're fighting an uphill battle against cruelty profiteering because it's so popular and makes so much money. But in the relatively short time that I've been posting, the audience has grown a lot, and I'm grateful for that. If this trend continues, I foresee a lot of exciting stuff. Okay, let's dig in. In my view, just about everyone is funny. Everyone watching this has probably made a friend or family member laugh. It's one of the simplest and best things there is about being a human being, which can be an extremely bleak thing to experience. If someone is new to writing comedy and they ask me what I think about their jokes, the first thing you'll hear me say, even if I hate their joke in particular, is stuff like, well, first of all, you've got what it takes. Welcome. This is for you if you want it to be. Why do I do that? Couple reasons. First of all, it's true. People do have what it takes to be funny. But beyond that, I do it because I want to enjoy my freaking life. I want more comedy writers because I want more comedy and more laughs. Angles I hadn't considered, perspectives I've never heard. Get them shits in my eyeballs immediately. Experiencing all that stuff I'd never considered only teaches me and challenges me to be funnier in my work. Are y'all afraid of that? Because I thought you were alpha males. Also, comedy isn't mine. It's not anyone's. It's all of ours. Why would anyone act like they can shut people out of this most good of gifts? I mean, this is the nectar of the gods, people. You can keep your ambrosia. On second thought, I'll also have the ambrosia. Rogan and his pals use comedy as a costume cape. For them, it's no longer about being funny. It's about being anti-woke. Even though it's impossible to say exactly what anti-woke is without sounding like an asshole. They're happy to suffer that cognitive dissonance because it makes them tons of money. But to me, the problem of gatekeeping funny extends beyond the rise of anti-woke cruelty profiteering. Let's go back in time. Way back when I was starting out in open mics, Facebook had just taken over from MySpace. And this was interesting because Facebook offered ways of forming groups around interests, like a local stand-up comedy scene. And that made it easy to learn about where to find new open mics, who was running those mics, when the list drops, etc. But it also made it very easy for comedians to devolve into public screaming shit fits at one another over stuff that was just so petty it was impossible to tell who was right about anything or why anyone should care. Now, I assume those shit fits still take place, maybe even still on Facebook all these years later. Maybe people have those meltdowns on Discord now, I don't know. But after you've seen a shit fit or two, they get very old. I mean, they're basically just people screaming, "You're not funny," at one another. It's like watching a public breakup, except worse, because you know none of the people screaming even managed to get laid. People use funny as a gate they can keep against people they just don't like, and they use it as a weapon. It's extremely dumb, and I think it has to stop. Even in the case of someone who I think has done material damage to American society, like Joe Rogan. If you're mad at someone, you think they wronged you or someone else, fine, express yourself. But gatekeeping is dumb. The only reason to gatekeep is you think the person you're keeping out is better at being inside the gate than you are. Let go of your ego and open the gate. Now, I'm not a philosopher, so I'm not going to debate objective reality, but I'm all over objective funny. There is none. Funny just is not an objective condition. It depends on the audience, the room, time of day, temperature, humidity, dew point, everything. If someone you hate says the funniest thing ever, you experience it like a punch in the gut. But if your crush is reading insurance paperwork, you're going to giggle like a toddler on nitrous. This is absolute, undeniable fact carved into every human's experience. Yet, For some people, they pretend that funny is objective, and they get to use it against other people. It defies a level of logic easily navigable by a nematode. If you've ever performed in front of a tough room or seen a bad host turn all the other comics' nights to shit, you know that comedy is subjective and malleable moment to moment. To understand those concepts, but then go on Reddit and say a comic you don't like categorically isn't funny is asinine. In the case of Burn the Boats, Rogan has a packed house, he says words, and his audience laughs. That's what being funny is. Even if I think that special is trash, which I do for the reasons stated at some length, I will not say he's not funny. To do that would be to swing an axe at my own credibility, and as a middle-aged YouTuber, I have a ton of. On the flip side of this, I think funny is the first thing we should give new writers. Yeah, you're funny. This is for you if you want it to be. You're welcome here. Get your ass in this gate. Now, there are some critical conversations to have with new writers because they often tend to reach for shocking rather than funny, but I think they'll figure that out. I hope. I realize this is a lot to ask from the so-called comedy community right now because it's so utterly pervaded by the cruelty profiteering movement and the deleterious effects of the manosphere and all that other sewage, but we have to start somewhere. That's what this channel is about, starting somewhere. And if that means seeing accurately that Rogan, for all the damage he has done and continues to gleefully do, gets laughs in the room, well, so be it. If you ask me, it beats the shit fits. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and maybe jump on the Patreon if you want to help me make more. And if you want to talk about comedy writing with people who are trying to do it in a constructive way, we also have a Discord channel.